Hi, I'm Eddie Morton from Motivation, and this is Lawrence Fuhrken. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Oh,
Hello.
awesome. So, Lawrence, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, so 61 next week. Um, Married for 41 years, 5 kids. Um, Started in Finger Lakes, New York, raising the family, and finished in Bristol, Virginia, raising the kids, and then moved over to Bristol, Tennessee. And so we've been in Bristol since 2006. And Yeah, I mean, was working in manufacturing for the first half of my life. When I got to Bristol, I was tired of all of that and looked for a way out and ended up buying some dilapidated houses and fixing them up and got into that whole flipping, keeping sequence and worked some stints at Sam's Club. And that's where I met you. And, and then our journeys separated and we ended up back together through a running community, I guess. So
Yeah,
that's
um,
how I ended up here.
yeah, yeah. I think stints in Sam's Club. I think we're both probably a little different than we were then. I would say,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
um, but you're 61. You just ran a half marathon in Salem, Virginia.
Salem. Yeah, Salem. Yep. Fun race, fun town. I don't know if you've been up there, but it's hilly, so it reminds you of running around Bristol. Maybe a little more, maybe a little steeper hills, and a quaint downtown. And they put on a really nice race. This is actually the second half I've done at Salem. Last year, I ran the Salem half as was my first half marathon, and I ran it as my 60th as a present to myself for my 60th birthday. And so, yeah, I learned a lot. Learned a lot about the training part of running and trying to prevent injury. And so this year I wanted to run it again, but I wanted to do better. And so that's how I got here this year. So just did that this past Saturday, October 12th.
That's awesome. And doing it at 61, that's quite an accomplishment. A lot of people that are even, I'm 43, a lot of people my age can't do that. And a lot of people younger than that can't even run a half marathon.
Yeah, yeah. I started late as well. I probably didn't start running until 57, 58, something like that. And so but I enjoy it. My early life, I would do a lot of cycling. And so I was always active. And then I was doing some workout programs, and I incorporated a 4 mile run into that. And through that, I found this run club and joined a run club. And then I tried to keep up with all the fast kids. And I ended up with shin splints and all the problems that you end up with running. And so
Yeah.
I had to learn everything. I had to learn about shoes. I had to learn about injuries. I had to, so that, end up in physical therapy. But the one thing about running I loved is it would, as far as mental health, change my life. I mean, you can go for a run and you feel better. No matter what mood you're in, you just feel better. And so I pursued it, and and then you just keep keep moving the goalpost and going for it. So yeah, it's been a challenge, and this one's particularly was challenging. I mean, it was I wanted to do a sub 2 half marathon, and I knew that was testing the limit for me as far as the pace and the distance and the endurance. So a lot of work. I did end up first in my age group,
Right on.
and then I looked, and there was a 68-year-old that did it in an hour and 50 minutes. So I will never run in his age group because I'm 61, he's 68, and so he's going
Yeah.
to move up. But so I don't have to compete against him. But really, I was second because 68 years old and running an hour and 50 minutes and a half marathon. So
That's
it's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah, isn't it amazing? Yeah, that's cool. So shout out to him. I don't remember his name, but I remember 68 in an hour and 50 minutes, just cool. Just cool. What a cool community, right? Just every age group, every body type, and everybody's just being out there and people moving forward is exciting.
What I've noticed about like running and the running community is like people seem to root everybody on, no matter if you're the fastest or the slowest or whatever you
True.
got going on. Like even if you have to walk like a 5K, people are rooting you on. It's not like not so much. I mean, I guess it is a competition, but I guess the competition is just finishing it. It's against yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I love about it is the running community might be the most supportive community I've ever been part of. And then, and it's like exactly what you said is we're running against ourselves, right? So if you get a PR, man, a PR for a 61-year-old is the same as a PR for a 30-year-old. It's their personal best. And so, and the whole community cheers that on. It's a cool thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's so you ran it in 154. Um, what what kind of pace is that? That's a below not.
154, 154.52, and it's an 8:46 pace.
You're
Yeah,
flying.
average. Yeah, no, it was fast for me. That's for sure. My running coach, I think, finished in an hour 39, so she was just over 7 minute. And so I'm running with these people that are doing sub eights, 7.5, there's one guy that runs sub seven, and I can't run 300 yards that fast. But 8:46 for me for that long is fast. I mean,
That's great. That's great.
yeah, it's a fast pace. It was a lot. And I did it in an interval type strategy. So I
Okay.
ran fast for 6 minutes and then slowed down to maybe a 10-minute mile to catch my breath and recoup and ran that for a minute and then took off again. But you end up with your group of people that you're running back and forth with. And so they were doing more consistent, continuous running, and I was back and forth. And so that was, yeah, that was the strategy, and it paid off. And then at the end, I had enough in the tank to just skip the 1 minute rest period and just continuous run. So, yeah, got me under the 155, which is amazing.
That's an amazing time. Like I ran a half um not this or last I guess last May. And I did it in like 2:05. Um
Okay.
no, was that last May, like 2023 May. And so I haven't done a half since, but I did the marathon and I ran my half in like that first half in like 2:02, I think.
Wow.
So that was pretty good for me because I was flying. The second half of it, I didn't run as fast because I started slow down a little bit. But um,
So your marathon is under 4.5. Is that where you're at with
yeah, I did it 4:18, which I thought was good.
that? That's cool. That's cool.